Full disclosure, this product was supplied by Andy Cine for the purpose of this review. However, my reviews are fully independent and not influenced by this fact at all. Hello, I'm Graham Horton and welcome to my review of this brand new device from Andy Cine, the AI Face Tracker Model S2. Now, you've probably used gimbals in the past where you've mounted your smartphone onto the gimbal, and with face tracking software you can find that it will track you around and follow you in your movement. Ideal if you're doing a two-camera presentation, so you're doing a cookery program or you're doing a craft program or you're demonstrating something outside. The only problem with those is you've got to mount the smartphone onto the gimbal, download an app, connect it via Bluetooth, define the target, and then sometimes it doesn't work exactly as you planned it to. With this new face tracking device from Andy Cine, you'll probably find that those problems have disappeared. Let me unbox the product for you and show you exactly what you get, and then I'll show you how you can use this device not only to mount smartphones, but things like action cameras, lens cameras, and even compact cameras up to about 390 grams in weight. So it gives you a tremendous portfolio of cameras that you can use with this device. So this is how you receive the Andy Cine AI Face Tracker Model S2. Comes in a box, and inside the box, first of all, you'll find a phone adapter, and this one will swivel so you can use your phone in portrait or horizontal mode, and it has an extension which will allow you to fit this to the AI Face Tracker. More about that in a moment. So below that phone compartment we have the box which contains the face tracker itself. So let's remove that from its outer packaging. Very little information on the box itself, as you can see. If I turn that to the front face, you can see we've got the Chinese AI gesture recognition with 2-axis cloud platform. Now, where the cloud platform comes in, I don't know, as it doesn't require any connection to an internet or service provider. It doesn't require any apps to be downloaded onto your smartphone. It just works. So let's have a look at the device itself. It does say it got 360 degrees rotation, which means that this device will track you if you do a 360 degree rotation around your device. It says it's got body tracking and composition AI, which means it's face detecting or face recognition. It will raise by 16 degrees or fall by 10 degrees, so a certain amount of vertical movement, something you don't get with a lot of face tracking devices. You don't get the up and down movement, you only get a 360 degrees movement. So it says there's no app required. It's got about a 3-hour battery life after a 2-hour charge. You can use it horizontal or vertical, and it's got a tripod mount in the bottom, so you can actually mount it onto a tripod or light stand or whatever device, and it's gesture controlled. So let's have a look at the device. So inside your box you'll get this lens cleaning cloth, marketed again by Andy Cine, the thank you for buying card, and then the general instructions of how you will set this up. You're also provided in the box with a USB-A to USB's charging cable to charge the internal 2500 mAh battery in the device. So let me just lift this out of its compartment. And here we have the device itself. It's a bowl-shaped device with about 108 millimeters diameter. It weighs just under 360 grams and has in the bottom the 1/4 threaded mount, so you can mount this to your tripod or onto a light stand to enable you to use it in a variety of situations. Here's the lens which allows the device to face track. The slot allows the lens to move up and down by that up 16 degrees and down 10 degrees. In the top we've got a clamp which allows you to clamp your smartphone. If you notice also in the top there we've got a 1/4 threaded hole which allows us to fit this device, which will screw into that mount there. Now the reason they provide you with this device is if you've got phones which are too wide to fit in the actual throat, which is about 30 millimeters, you can fit them into this device. But also, when this device is in operation, if your smartphone's mounted here and you're using the internal microphones, you may find that the microphones will pick up the internal noise of the motor as it tracks around. So by mounting this device in here on your smartphone on the clamp, you're raising the smartphone away from the motor noise, and hopefully you'll get better audio. On the rear of the unit, we've got a USB-C port, which is used for charging with that USB-A to C port. But I've also, in my reverse assembly of this device, found that this is fully wired. So it could be that in future this could be used for firmware upgrades, or could it be used as a webcam? As we've got a lens and a processing system, could we actually use this in the future for a webcam? There is a small LED here which is used to indicate the charging status, and here we've got a reset button if we have to reset the unit. Here we have the lens used for facial or body recognition, and you notice that the whole of the top dome rotates on the base, which is driven by a small stepper motor, and the top is controlled by again a stepper motor. Now there is a little bit of backlash in the gearing between the stepper motor and the ball itself. It's probably about 3 degrees. It's only noticeable if you've got a heavy weighted camera on there and it tips over the center point. It does tend to jump back or jump forward when you've got a heavy load on there, but under normal circumstances you shouldn't notice that amount of play. There is a little bit of rotational delay as well of about 1 or 2 degrees, and again you'll only notice that if you change direction in your tracking. There'll be a slight delay before the motion is picked up. So it's got 4 legs, which allows you to stand it onto the table, and then you could clamp your smartphone into the device, just screw in the clamp to lock it in place, turn on your phone, and you're ready to go. No apps required on the phone itself. To turn on the device, there is a power on off button on the front, so you just press that and hold that for 3 seconds. It will come on and you'll have a red LED light, and now the device is waiting for gesture control. With the device turned on, it's now looking for that gesture, which is the OK symbol, to start tracking. So once you give it the OK symbol, the device turns on, you get a green light, and now it will start to track you. So if I move my chair left to right, you can see that it is starting to follow me. Now ideally, to use this face tracking system, it's better if you can keep the camera in the Andicini S2 roughly around eye level. It means then you've got the full vertical movement of the system from -10 to +16 degrees. If it's too low, then obviously it can't go any higher when it reaches that +16 degrees, so if you try to stand up you may get cut off. So it's better to try and keep this camera around about eye level, ideally about 1 meter away from you as well. If you're using the external bracket, it does allow you to adjust the position of the camera of your smartphone so that you're in the right position for framing. If you fit it into the slot on the S2, you may find that you appear too low in the frame, so it's better if you use the included fixture to allow you to position it exactly where you want, either left or right or up and down, to give you the right position. Now you can probably see on this device I'm using an external microphone, and that is a lavalier microphone. The receiver, I've just double-sided taped the receiver to the back of the ball, as the ball is the one that continuously rotates. Using the USB-C to 3.5mm TRS dongle, so I can input audio into the device. There are alternative solutions for getting audio into your smartphone. One is this USB-C adapter, because this is an Android phone with USB-C. You can use the Lightning type as well, and this is just an RF transmitter and receiver, again a lavalier type mic, and plug this into the base of the phone, and you don't have this wired connection or the need to tape your receiver to the ball. With the S2 set up on the tripod and the power on, you've got a red light. It's now waiting for the start tracking gesture, which is the OK gesture. Once you do that with your fingers to give the OK, the light goes green and you now know that the system is in a tracking mode. So if I move to the left, you can see the gimbal moves to the left. If I move to the right, you can see the gimbal moves to the right. If I stand up a little bit, you'll see that it follows me up, and if I sit back down again, you see that it's following me down. So the whole system is tracking you, and it can do a 360-degree rotation and it will follow you. What I want to do now is take this unit outside and we'll mount it on a light stand. We'll test the 360-degree tracking mode and just how far you can get away from the camera in the S2 before it stops recognizing your body or face tracking. So hopefully it's going to work up to about 6 meters according to the specification. And we'll try out the raising and lowering. As I move up and down various levels within the garden, we should see that it tracks. I'll try it with the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra that's mounted on the system now, and the action camera, just to give you an idea of how it can perform with other than a smartphone. So let's take this outside and see how it performs. So for the purposes of the first test, we've got the Andy Cine S2, got it mounted on a light stand as you can see in the video, and I'm going to do a 360-degree circular walk around the Andy Cine at about a meter and a half away from the camera. So to start the face tracking, of course, I need to use the gesture, which is the OK symbol. The light has gone green and the head has now moved into position. I've used that extension bracket so I can get the correct framing. So I'm now going to do a 360 around the camera and let's see how it tracks. So here we are moving around about a meter and a half away, and it is following me. I'm walking quite quickly, so I'm going to reduce my speed to a little bit slower, probably the speed that you would walk if you were doing a presentation, and let's see how the tracking system reacts to that. So that seems to have followed quite well. I'm now going to step up and let's see if the camera follows me up, and then I'll do a traverse of about 15 meters and see how it follows me at a distance of around about 6 meters. So I've now stepped up onto the decking and the light is still green, so that means it has got facial recognition. So if I move over to the left hand side, yeah, the camera is tracking me. If I go over to the right hand side, again the camera is tracking me. I've still got a green light, so it is recognizing a body shape or facial recognition, whichever it's using to determine how to use the pan. So again, I'll step down onto the decking and the camera should come down, and let's try a rotation again. Right. Now I just noticed that the camera was at the -10 position, so what I should really do is raise the camera so that it has got the full vertical movement. I'm going to stop the tracking and we'll carry on. So I've now just raised the camera slightly, and the camera is away from the bottom position of the frame of the Andy Cine S2 ball, so it has now got a little bit more upward tracking facility. I should be able to still bend down and it should track me down as it does now, but it's now bottomed out. Let's go up a bit and see if the camera follows me up. It does follow me up. I'm going to do that step up again, see whether it follows me up. So we've gone up the step, and let's come down the step, and it should be able to follow me around. So let's change over from the smartphone and I'll install a action camera on the top of here and we'll see how that pans out. And now it's recording. So I'm going to enable the tracking on the Andy Cine S2 by using the gesture. So now we should be controlling the position of the S2 using AI face tracking. So just do again a 360 and I'll keep to about 2 meters away this time. So I'll now pan around again at a gentle walking speed. That's at about 2 meters. So I'm going to go up again onto the deck and we'll go over to the left hand side, and then we'll traverse over to the right hand side. So that's about 10 meters away from it, and I still have a green light, so it should still be picking my body up and tracking me around. So I'm now approaching center, and we'll step down and again approach the camera. So that is with the Osmo Action camera mounted on the Andicine S2. I'm now going to try to move much quicker around to see just how fast the Andicine can track you. Say you were doing a presentation where you needed to move a lot more quicker. So I'll start to move by first of all enabling the tracking with the OK gesture. The green light has come on. So now I'm going to move at quite a fast pace. And it does appear to be tracking me at a walking pace of about 3 miles an hour. That's my normal walking pace. And it does appear to be following me around. Let's try a little jog. And again, it's maintaining the tracking, so the tracking is quite good on this device. Now, one thing I have noticed is the OK gesture always works, but sometimes the stop tracking gesture, which is a closed palm, doesn't always get picked up, and I think it depends on the difference between your hand and the background. If you've got a cluttered background, the camera doesn't seem to be able to identify that. So let's just try that. So it hasn't seen that, so I'm going to try and put my hand where there is nothing in the background. So again, it hasn't picked that up. Let's try the other palm. Hasn't picked that up. Let's move around, try and get a better background there perhaps. Try the palm. Isn't seeing that. Let's try the other palm. Isn't seeing that. We'll try 2 palms. No. Let's try away from that cluttered background. Let's try that background. And it has seen that. So it looks as though your background may influence the way that the stop tracking gesture is recognized, but I say it always picks up the OK, no problem at all. It seems to be the stop gesture which is the problem for it. Let me show you now how you could mount your action camera onto the S2 device. With the spigot screwed into the usual GoPro adapter, you can then screw this into the S2 device, into that 1/4 threaded hole. Like so. Set the action camera facing forward, and again just turn on your action camera or use the app to control over Wi-Fi. Use the OK gesture, and then again the device will track and your GoPro or action camera will actually follow you around. It would be the same for use with other cameras. So if I wanted to mount my G7X Mark III, again I can just unscrew this off here, install the G7X on here, set it into the forward position like so, turn on the camera, start the record process, and then again with the OK gesture you can see that the device will carry that camera. It has a payload of about 390 grams, so it will track up and down with that 360 degrees. So now this is a test using this Zoofon wireless microphone. It's a much more compact system. You don't have those trailing wires going from the receiver into the dongle plugged into your smartphone. So this is available as a USB-C device and also as the Apple Lightning connector device. So that's my review of the new AI face tracking system Model S2 from Andicine. I'll put links to the supply of this product from Amazon and B&H Photo in the video description below. If you've not seen my photography blog, do check it out. There's lots more information on Panasonic Lumix bridge cameras, the Sony RX10 bridge camera and Canon mirrorless cameras. So please do check that out if you've not already done so. So until my next video, thanks again for watching. Please do take care, and I hope to see you all very, very soon. Goodbye for now.